Chris Santiago of MMA on. Today we have Bellator veteran and pro boxer Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor, also with his dog. Anthony, how's it going today?
I'm good. I'm here with trouble. Man, I'm feeling great, looking great. I am great. I'm just enjoying myself today, enjoying it and training hard.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe your eventful, very eventful 2022?
Work in progress. That's what I will say. 2021 was very successful and kind to me. Meeting so many new people, such as Jake and everybody and Logan. But 22, it's kind of rough, a little tough, but it's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm. I believe you took 2 boxing matches like back to back. One against tough veteran Jake Cuccinella, then one of Drew Mornay. What was the schedule like? Having the fights back to back.
It was supposed to be. Those don't really count. Those are just exhibition fights and stuff. Obviously, the whole fight with the Mello fellow, it was supposed to be a draw. There was not supposed to be a winner.
Oh, okay.
There was not supposed to be a winner. We agreed to it because it was an unsanctioned fight, and they just decided to make a win because of the crowd. And I'm like, yo, what do you? If you're gonna do that, do it right, bro. I won the fight, but I was okay with being a draw. I go to celebrity. It put a bad taste in my mouth because it's like, yo, I lost that fight, and what happened was they let the crowd pick the winner.
Oh man.
I'm like, yo, this is the New Jersey guy. I beat him up really bad, and you guys still decide to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
All because I said I wanted to fight Roy Jones.
What?
And it's on Fight TV, and people's like, yo, Pretty Boy clearly beat him up. Why are they giving this guy, why are they allowing the crowd to decide who's the winner? It was a mess, bro. It pissed me off. I didn't want to tell nobody, but it pissed me off pretty bad. And I'm like, man, I'm getting robbed. And I'm telling you this now, Chris, I'm not going to be doing none of these charities, these little YouTube fights because I'm getting screwed over my worth. People are not paying, and they don't understand what I'm here to bring. So if you ain't Showtime pay-per-view, if you ain't Bellator or the UFC, don't call my phone. Straight up. Or if you're not putting up a minimum of $150,000, don't call my phone because you're just wasting my time and my talent. Simple.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of, those offers that, you want to be on Showtime Boxing, you want all the big lights, under with your name. Who does Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor want next?
I either want 2 names. Roy Jones Jr. He agreed to fight me verbally. We talked in person. He says, I want to fight you. I said, let's go in August. He said, let me know when you're ready. I'll be there. If not Roy Jones, and that's not what Jake and them want me to fight, I'll fight Tyron Woodley. We're both 0-2. We're both 0-2 on Showtime. Fuck it. Why not? Let's go at it together. Me, who's going to get their first win? MMA fighter on Showtime. Who's going to get their first win? I know I'm going to beat Tyron. And not, Roy Jones. It's going to be an exhibition fight between me and Roy Jones, a special one. But you gotta understand, a lot of people's like, we already saw Tyron fight. He didn't do nothing special, and he lost twice to Jake. That might not bring numbers, but if you see me fighting Roy Jones, hey, that automatically brings pay-per-view numbers up to the sky roof. And me fighting Roy Jones is a special exhibition. Yo, he gets to be on TV getting fighting. Why not? That's the guy who I want to fight. Roy Jones Jr. or Tyron Woodley. Let's make it happen. The fans wants to see it, and they all want to see Tyron get a victory win or something. Sympathy win. We don't even handing out sympathy wins out here.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to see both of those. Do you think that happens on the undercard of Jake's card in August, or are you looking
Absolutely.
for it to be your own event?
I'm manifesting this. I'm manifesting this. I'm either fighting Roy Jones Jr. and I'm calling you out again, or I'm fighting Tyron Woodley. I'm calling you out again.
Mm-hmm. Which fight seems more appealing to you, and which fight makes more sense? Which fight's more realistic in your eyes?
So the fight that appeals to me more definitely is Roy Jones Jr. because it brings values to Jake Paul's card. It's a pay-per-view card, a Showtime, and it brings numbers. People are going to want to buy to watch Roy Jones fight again since Mike Tyson, which makes sense. Is me versus Tyron Woodley. We're both 0-2 on Showtime. He's an MMA fighter. I'm an MMA fighter. We're looking for a win. You know, I'm willing to have a little fun here. Hey, mix it up. 2 rounds into the second round's MMA. You know, just have fun, you know. But I just know what appeals to the fan more, Roy Jones. What makes more sense, Tyron Woodley.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Then if you had to, like, obviously it's Jake's card, but if you had to pick the place and like the time, like where would this fight be? Would it be in California? Would it be in Cleveland? Like, what would you say this fight would be at?
I say Staples Center. Jake has done an amazing job when it comes to selling out a crowd. Having this fight in the Staples Center will be packed. The whole arena definitely be packed out. People will come to see the fight, and he's going to have so much fun being there with the crowd, with his friends, his family. It's just overall, it's just bringing in a whole new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Atmosphere.
For sure. Then I have to ask you about the pay-per-view buys too, because with Jake Paul's first fight with Woodley, I think they did pretty good. I think it was over like $500,000. Fight against Ben Askren was pretty good too, but there's some reports that his rematch with Woodley did like maybe 60K pay-per-view buys. Do you buy those numbers?
Personally, Chris, to be honest, I don't know. I'm not in that department of finance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a fighter. What do I know? I just know about fighting and training. I'm not behind the scenes with Showtime and MVP, so I really can't speak on that because I don't know. It's like me speaking on UFC fighters' pay, and I don't know their pay because I'm not in the UFC. But what matters is like this. Showtime put out all these events. A lot of these Showtime events, they're not pay-per-view events. They're just regular small events that Showtime Boxing have. But when you get a Jake Paul there, yeah, you'll get about over 300 buyers on pay-per-view or whatnot. But you got to understand the promoting and the sold out arena is what's also a big impact. Yeah, you can put on a little fight with Javante or something, but I guarantee you Javante ain't packing out a $25,000 stadium like Jake Paul is. I guarantee you Javante ain't gonna pack out if Jake Paul decided to fight at the Cowboy Stadium. I guarantee you Javante can't fill that up. I guarantee you Jake Paul fill that stadium up. And you got to understand the level of, okay, who has more pull? Jake Paul has more pull. Jake Paul is the most popular boxer right now besides Tyson Fury and Canelo. Right now as we speak. You can't say Deontay Wilder because he hasn't fought, so he's not really that relevant. Can't say Tommy Fury because ever since Tommy Fury dropped out of fight, you never heard from him. All you talk about is Tyson Fury, Canelo, and Jake Paul. Those are 3 top names in boxing. And that's how it is. People don't want to see people don't want to see him succeed because he's doing it the right way, the legit way. And it's okay if you don't like it, but you got to respect his hustle.
For sure. Then obviously you're a fighter, but you're also an actor. Have you done much in 2022? I know with COVID, it's impacted the movie industry a bit. How's everything been for you acting wise?
Oh man, I got just a lot of offers coming up. I just put out a pilot, a move for a show called In the Darkness. So right now, there's so much stuff in works, movies in works, Netflix stuff in the works. There's a lot of things in the works, Chris. And I really can't talk about certain projects, but man, the movie industry for me, transitioning to acting slowly is an amazing opportunity for me. And I'm just blessed to be in that position.
And I talked to AJ McKee about this earlier today when you guys were eating, but I asked him, because obviously AJ McKee and yourself are very well-dressed fighters in the fight game. So if you had to pick your top 3 best-dressed fighters in mixed martial arts, who would it be? And you could include yourself, obviously.
Me, number one, because ain't nobody gonna be flashy in style like me. and then AJ number 2. What we got? What is the list that people say?
Maybe like out of I'm sorry, what was
list.
that?
What is the list that they say? Hey, who didn't make the top 5? The alternate list. I say Roy Jones. No. Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. They make the non-list. But me and AJ McKee, we always the best dressed when we go places, regardless.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And yeah, you always show out in your fights. What about fashion like really speaks to you? Is it just like expression? Is it just looking good in front of the press? Like, what about fashion speaks out to you?
Fashion is everything, because fashion is what fashion has been something to the African American community since the ages of time. We weren't, back in ancient time, not ancient times, back in the days, we weren't allowed to be fashionable. So now that we're able to, in this current age, we're able to express our voice through fashion, colors. And it's just an amazing thing that I'm able to dress and look like $1 million and be and just do whatever I want. A lot of people have their opinion of how it looks like this and that, but I don't care about that. It's about me. I stopped giving a shit about what everybody thinks a long time ago. When you start caring about what people think about you, that's your worth. That's your worth, because your worth is what they say your worth is. I tell people, know your worth. Don't let these people tell you what your worth is. I'm $1 million, straight up. $1 million. Am I $1 billion yet? Not yet, but I'm up there. But that's my worth. And I know every time I put on some dress shoes and a shirt, I am $1 million.
For sure, man. You're definitely one of the best dressed out there. I just got to ask, when it comes to violent fashion, like obviously you've been in the boxing ring for your last couple of fights, but can we see MMA return to for Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor in 2022?
Ooh, man, that possibly it all depends. I expressed interest that I'll fight Dan Hooker. He's damn near out the UFC, about to get cut soon. I've also expressed interest. Let's see, fighting Patty Pimblett. I don't like Patty. I don't like what he stands for. He's a fraud. And I've also expressed interest in fighting Dan Henderson. Not Dan Henderson, Benson Henderson.
Hardy. Oh, okay.
Benson Henderson. So who knows? But right now, MMA ain't really paying. Come on. If MMA is paying Patty, if UFC is paying Patty 12-12, holy shit. Like, yo, I'm so used to making, man, like, So who knows, Chris? Honestly, there might be a time where I actually might return this year for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah, just to elaborate more on the Patty Pimblett paycheck, like why is he okay with this? I mean, he just says 12-12. I mean, he doesn't, obviously he wants a better contract, but why would he sign to the UFC if he's only getting paid pennies at this point?
Well, in all reality, Chris, a lot of people don't know this, bro. The man made probably between $75,000 to $100,000 signing bonuses. Yeah, we know these organizations give out signing bonuses. $75,000 to $100,000 signing bonus to Patty. Let's do the math. He got $24,000 for the fight, show and win, plus a $50K bonus. That's about $74,000. Let's say he got $100,000 signing bonus because he's with the Cage Warriors. That's $174,000. Now let's not factor in the guy just signed a 6-figure deal with Barstool Sports.
Yep.
Now all that money and stuff that comes included in the UFC package. You're getting those sponsorships because you're fighting in the UFC. Let's say Barstool Sports gave him $50,000 for this fight. Yo, that's like 200 and what's that? 200. Let's say 174 plus 50. Bam. That's about $223,000 right there. Not including his other sponsors that he got on the side besides Barstool. So the guy probably made $250,000 on the low end underneath without having to put it up, because you don't need to promote your sponsors' income like that. It's just only fighters pay because instead of Nevada. So he might say, "Oh, I made 24,000," but it's bullshit, bro. You got all these sponsors and signing bonuses that you making. Come on, bro, the backing type shit. It's like Conor McGregor. Everybody thought Conor McGregor was making a $2 million a fight. No, this guy was getting pay-per-view buys, backing and stuff, and he was making about 15 million a fight, not 2. It just shows 2 on paper on the UFC report, 2 million, and somebody such and such 600,000. But back end, he made a shit ton of money, do all this and that. And you gotta understand, Patty's a bigger name than fucking Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
A lot. He's more popular. He's like, to be honest, bro, he's damn near more popular than Islam. Like, let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? The guy, he just has a Harry Potter look to him that's like, ooh, catchy. And we also have to think of, you got all of England who backs you up. Name one American fighter backs up their own. Look how
maybe Sean O'Malley, but that, even then, you know, Sean O'Malley doesn't have every.
Ain't on no level. He ain't on no level like Patty Pimblett. Look how they treat Deontay Wilder, but look how they praise Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Look how they praise Pacquiao, but look how they praise Floyd Mayweather.
True.
You know, so it's weird. In America, it's weird. So it's all this stuff is politics.
And let's say those fights with Roy Jones Jr. or with Woodley, I believe Dan Hardy's been trying to get a fight with Woodley for a while now, but Woodley's not really open to it. Like, should you not get those fights? Would maybe Dan Hardy interest you in the future?
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind fighting Dan Hardy, but what does he bring? What value does he bring? You know, if Dan Hardy's talking about fighting on these small cards up in Ireland or London, but then you want to call Tyron Woodley to fight on Showtime pay-per-view, you're going to make more money there than you are fighting Dan Hardy. You're fighting you're probably fighting Dan Hardy on a private show, but how much are they going to pay you? Can they afford to pay you $600,000? I don't think so, bro. But Showtime can. You know, so that's that part where it comes into play.
Are you gonna, I know that Woodley and Paul are kind of, they're not like buddy, but they don't hate each other. So do you think you might get like a good representation from Paul and, you know, maybe get a deal done with to get a fight with Woodley?
Who knows? This is all up to Nikisa and Jake Paul. You know, I'll definitely fight Woodley. Hell, I'll fight Roy or whoever they want me to fight. I'll do it, you know, where it's reasonable. I'm just happy to have the opportunity because me and Woodley are making history. We're the first ever African-American MMA fighters to be on Showtime pay-per-view together twice in a row. Wow. Ain't nobody done that. And I'm the first non-champion to not fight in a major organization such as, and win gold, such as Bellator and the UFC. I'm doing this off my manifestation, my looks, and my hard work. Because I wouldn't be in this position if I didn't work hard. And I tell people, just because you work hard, don't expect it. You got to manifest this stuff and go for it. So me fighting Tyron Woodley will be a pleasure. Me and him had the same coach for years. I'm still with Antonio McKee. You know, so if MVP, Jake and them want me to fight Woodley, let's do it. Let's go. We go 170 or 175, wherever you feel comfortable. But if they want me to fight Roy Jones, it's going to be an exhibition. He ain't got to lose weight. I ain't got to lose weight. We good.
And I believe, like, when all of this started, it was through, like, a Twitter exchange with BJ Flores. You know, our good friend Donna Corby, he kind of helped you with that. And, you know, that's where everything took off. So can you just explain to me, like, what the origins were, you know, of BJ Flores, Donna Corby, like, how did all this transpire, you know?
Well, Donna was like, hey, I'm going to be doing an interview with his coach soon. Maybe if you want to try to say something, who knows what will happen? I said, cool. All right, Donna. So I go on Donna's Twitter. I said, hey, Jake, stop fighting these whoop, and come fight me. You know, surprisingly, BJ replied. He messaged me like, hey, if you want to fight Jake, come down to Miami then. Like, don't be no punk. Let's fight him then. I'm like, okay, great. Like, Let's go. So I go there, handle business. They like what they saw. And from there on, that's how I met your kids, Mom. From there on, that's when my life changed. Jake liked what he saw. He brought me in and said, hey, let's give you the opportunity of your lifetime. Go ahead and fight Tommy Fury. Mm-hmm. Right there, bam, you can't deny that, man. I worked hard to get where I'm at. I put in time, bro. I went into my record when I left Bellator and everything was 2-5. I'm now 7-5 on a 5-5 win streak. I bust my ass for those wins, and I bust my ass to put myself in those positions. And a lot of people can't relate because they only want to see a brother go down the wrong path. That's all they do. They want to see you succeed and want to watch how you they want to see you fail, but they want to watch how you fail, but they don't want to see how hard you know. I'm not able to cuss, right?
I know you can cuss, yeah. You can. Yeah,
like Dan Pena says, they tell you congratulations when you're pregnant, but they don't know how many times you've been fucked to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? They don't know that. So I work hard to be put where I'm at. And a lot of people who talk all this smack, it doesn't bother me, Chris. Who cares? I'm the Triple H of the game. I'm the Triple H of this era. Because why? Because eventually the heel's going to be the good guy.
Mm-hmm. And when you were like putting those together, putting those wins together back in Bellator, like when you were getting that 5-5 win streak together, like did you ever see yourself like, man, maybe I'm gonna be on a Showtime Boxing like pay-per-view event? Like, did you ever see yourself where you're at right now?
I used to watch Showtime Boxing. I never thought I'd be ever fighting on Showtime Boxing. And I was like, yo, I made it on Showtime Boxing. I'm like, yo, I'm the GOAT. Me and Tyron are the first people to do this. Ain't nobody, no MMA fighters ever to do this. You can't even say Anderson Silva because that ain't Showtime. Showtime is like the pinnacle. Showtime is like UFC to the standpoint. All those, this is Showtime here, So having to be on there, as a kid, while watching Andre Ward and Floyd Mayweather and stuff, I was like, man, Showtime Boxing. I would love to do that one day. And this is before I even got into MMA. And next, you know it, I'm in MMA. I'm boxing now. Next, you know what? I'm boxing all of a sudden. Chris, I get a lot of people calling me out because they want to fight me. They think I'm an easy win or something. Show me the money, bro. Show me the money. Stop trying to call me out with your little $25,000 purse. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. Put up real money. If you want to retain me, put up real money. You ain't gonna pay that. If you ain't gonna pay me that, well, why even call me out? You got Dean the Great, talks all this stuff. He complains. Oh, I need to come down weight. I weigh too much. Dude, you're 130. You're calling me out, and I've never even heard of you, bro. You're not even verified. I get with Fuzi, there's no contract. Why are you calling me out? There's no point. Mm-hmm. So everything has to make dollars for it to make sense.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Then I saw that. Were you calling out Gib the other day? Like, well,
I called out Gib. Gib was acting like he didn't know me. I called out Gib. Gib didn't want to fight. I called out Deji. He didn't want to fight. Called out his friend King Kenny, whatever his name is. He didn't want to fight. KSI, he didn't want to fight. Mams, Taylor, he doesn't want to fight. Slim, all these YouTube boxers who say my name but never call me out, they're just a waste of my time. They don't want to fight. They don't want to get dirty and ready to go. I'm that guy, Chris. People say, oh, that's Jake Paul's sparring partner. Okay, you talk all that crap, but show me what you got. Mm-hmm. Show me what you got. And don't just try to show me what you got because you think you're going to fight Jake Paul. That's not going to happen, But the biggest point is people are going to talk. Let them talk because what they eat, what you eat what they eat don't make you shit.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I think that's all the questions I have. I just want to thank you again for your time, Anthony. Do you have anything to say to the fans out there watching, and where can they follow you?
Hey man, I want to say thank you to the fans out there. You can find me on Instagram, Anthony_prettyboy. You can also find me on Twitter, Anthony_forreal, TikTok, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor, Facebook, Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor. If you can't find me, just Google me, baby. Also, I want you guys to definitely give a shout out and go follow AJ McKee as he fight Patricio Pitbull August 15th at the SAP Center. So make sure you guys go ahead and press that button and follow on MMA Island too, because they're giving you the realest news, up to date, live.
Okay.
So make sure y'all follow MMA Island.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Anthony. Appreciate the time.
You too, brother. Appreciate you.